when the CEO is making 10 or 11 million and the company's done 3 billion in stock buybacks, a $3,000 fine is like brushing dust off your arm. So we're going to up those fines up to 250,000, and that's going to make them behave better. If there's a stiff fine that the company will feel, they're not going to have dozens and dozens of safety violations.
BusinessJournalDaily.com 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
Who's the only local bank with a mobile mortgage app? Farmers. Download the app to contact your lender, calculate payments, securely scan and upload documents, and check the status of your loan. Fiercely local, fiercely loyal, Farmers.
It shouldn't take a train derailment for elected officials to put partisanship aside and work together for the people we serve, not serving CSX and Norfolk Southern and other railroads, but serving communities. We've also seen lobbyists for these big rail companies spent years fighting every effort to pass train safety legislation. Norfolk Southern particularly has a terrible record on safety. Over the last 10 years, they cut 38% of their workforce, more than a third of their workforce. The executives got huge payoffs, got huge stock buybacks, billions of dollars, and the union workers that lost their jobs meant safety was compromised. And so accidents like this are frankly not that surprising. While they cut 38% of their workforce, accidents went up 80% in Norfolk Southern. And that's, again, that's not surprising. It's why I'm introducing bipartisan legislation with Ohio's new Republican Senator, Senator Vance, to finally take on the railroads and make trains safer as they go through Ohio. The rail lobby has two ways of doing business. They just fight it directly, or which they're kind of doing here, or they just try to slow walk it. So they'll say, we're working on it, we want to help you, we have the same goals as this bill, but we got to study this more, and that goes on for 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and then the cameras are turned off, the attention's lost, and they get away with it. We're not going to let that happen. Well, we know this, the Norfolk Southern cut more than a third of its workforce. We know they want only one driver, one engineer on these trains. We know they've compromised on safety when they cut back on their workforce. And those days are behind us. We're going to require at least 2 people in the trains. We're going to require bigger fines when they break safety rules. Their average fine's like $3,000. We're going to require that the wheel bearings are inspected and safer. But when you cut back that many employees, you simply can't do the track inspection and the train inspection and the brake inspection the way that you need to. So we're going to move in a very different direction on these trains. They've gotten longer and longer, heavier and heavier, carrying more and more hazardous materials in the state. And we can't take this risk. It shouldn't take what happened in East Palestine, shouldn't take an accident like that to make this work. The hazardous material definition is in the law, and we just want them, and I've talked to the governor about this, we want them, when they come to Ohio, to let the state know, and then the state lets local communities know. I mean, a city like this, a town like Lowellville generally has one firefighter, the chief, paid, and then 10, 20, 30 volunteers. They're not trained in what to do with hazmat fires. They don't have the equipment here to fight hazardous material fires. So we've got to do that regionally, but we've got to know that these trains are coming through Ohio. They violate safety rules all the time. They've averaged, over the last half dozen years, paying about $3,000 per violation, and they have dozens and dozens of violations, some more serious than others. But a $3,000 fine, when the CEO is making 10 or 11 million and the company's done 3 billion in stock buybacks, a $3,000 fine is like brushing dust off your arm. So we're going to up those fines up to 250,000, and that's going to make them behave better. If there's a stiff fine that the company will feel, they're not going to have dozens and dozens of safety violations.
BusinessJournalDaily.com 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
Who's the only local bank with a mobile mortgage app? Farmers. Download the app to contact your lender, calculate payments, securely scan and upload documents, and check the status of your loan. Fiercely local, fiercely loyal, Farmers.